And I don't want to freaking be here. I'm not kidding. Oh, this parking lot looks like a freaking ghost town. But of course, given our department's current status, no matter how few people show up, they will not let us leave. You gotta love this place. But, uh, but at the same time, I keep telling people, you think it's bad now. We are very lucky to be where we're at. Because right now there's a few million people who would love to have my job. And then, like I said, I'm lucky to be in a place where I can at least keep the bills covered. I wish everybody was that way. I really wish it was, that everybody could at least, keep their heads above water and not be getting, wish everybody could just work like 3 months of a year and get paid millions of dollars. That's why I'm a jealous old fat bastard. But, yes, it is Saturday morning, and as advertised, we are here. There's no getting out early. There hasn't been for months because they never have enough people to show up. They barely have enough people to cover all the positions. But the reality war, will it suck? For you folks who watched the Omega Files last night, if you have not, it is up on the channel. Why did I say it like that? Channel? I don't know. Channel? Oh, well. It kind of worries me, because after we saw what happened with Sutek, plus the fact not one iota of his grand plan is a typical, Ronnie ploy. And we brought this up, me and I think William last night. Since when does the Ronnie give two shakes of a rat's ass about Gallifrey, let alone Omega, let alone the Doctor? Unless she found out about the timeless children thing and wants to experiment on him. But other than that, now, has it actually been out yet? Because, oh, you watched the Omega Files, that's right. Because they're not releasing, I died laughing because there's a couple of reactors who I know of on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. I guess I got up at 4 a.m. this morning for no reason. No, it's called, they are so eager to get that reaction in first, to get the most views. That's why they do this. It's for money. And like I said, it's the same reason a lot of these, hate channels exist. It's for money. Chances are, I trust me, if the show was this horrible, then why do these guys keep watching it? It's like, remember, rest in peace, Doctor Who, 63 to 2017, yet it's 2025, it's still here, and they're still watching it. Oh. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, the Time Lords exiled her. Why would you want to bring them back, let alone Gallifrey? It makes no sense at all. Matter of fact, hang on a second. Walked in, probably handed in their medical card, and just walked out. You gotta love this place. Yep, because they're already going back to their car, and I know that's somebody who works on my shift. Well, the thing was, and that's another thing, I love how they never take things into context on the hate channels. The ratings are at all-time low. I go, yeah, and the streaming figures on everything's so high. It's like, come on, the show's still placing like in the top 5 viewed every week, except for, of the day. I'm not sure how it's faring on the week, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's watching the shows on the BBC overnight anymore. They're watching it as it comes out on the streaming service. Yeah, I like Stats because she's got good reactions to things. I especially love the reaction to like the Three Doctors and stuff like that. I don't like, as I said, I'm not harping, but it's like, yeah, that's the reason why they get up so early and they, because they're trying to get that review in first. Doesn't matter. They already have a following. They got their cute little YouTube participation trophy on their wall. It's like, yeah, because you have to start out by paying YouTube money to up your channel. Then there's like, I think it's now up to 15,000 words. Well, the Omega Files, oh gosh, I didn't actually name it. And this has been a controversy amongst the depraved. Um, we were sitting there trying to come up with a title for the podcast years ago, and it was Doctor Who Man who came up with the Omega Files, and this was based off a TV series that I found out about later, called the Omega File or the Omega Files or something like that. Same. When starred Louise Jameson, it was kind of like an X Files before the X Files. All right. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to find out they stole the X Files idea from the Omega Files, the original TV series, not me. Yeah, so, plus, the fact we have Omega, it sounded creepy, it sounded mysterious, and we've kept that name ever since. Just like, like I said, there was a controversy because it was Dr. Who Man who first said, what's going to be next, Eric the Dalek? And then I came up with the idea, Dr. Freedom and Eric, imagine that. And then I started writing the Dr. Freedom and Eric audios. And like I said, because we had somebody in there who's mentally deficient, went on tirades, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, it ended up in a mess. I'm like, dude, what's going to be next? The guy invented the internet? It's like, oh, man. Mm-hmm. Ugh. So that's where it came from. No, you have not taken the sloppiest dookie of your life. Unless you're on a nifty drug called metformin. For the rest of your life, you'll be taking nothing but sloppy dookies. Metformin is a wonderful drug. I'm not telling you never to take it, especially if it's prescribed to you by your doctor, because it isn't over the it's an under the counter medication, whatever. But it does the job. But you can say goodbye to those beautiful days of hard, nice, soft stools that you can literally sit on, and you can kiss goodbye to regularity. You can kiss goodbye to trusting farts, at least 50% of the time. But it's basically Montezuma's Revenge in a bottle, but it does the job it was designed to do. Yeah, but I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Chris Carter was inspired by the British series, The Omega File, or The Omega Files. I think. Look it up. It had Louise Jameson in it. Because they even later did a reprise on Big Finish for a little bit. Yeah, you can kiss those days goodbye. The only time I have anything remotely solid going on is if I eat a bunch of peanuts. Or mixed nuts. Sometimes that'll help a little. Let me see. I always keep Imodium nearby most of the time. If things get a little too hectic. You have to remember also, I drink like 5 bottles of water, 25-ounce bottles of water every day. So, add that to the mix and voila. Asshole puree. Okay. Fresh from the cinnamon ring. Well, we also lost Loretta Swit this week. And a lot of you are maybe asking, who the hell's Loretta Swit? Loretta Swit played Major Houlihan on the long-running TV series of MASH. Now, in the movie, that role was played by Sally Kellerman. Well, you have to remember, everybody seems to think that like 5 minutes after the show airs, you're going to get a call from Disney going, ha, we're going to renew your show, Rusty. It's not going to go like that. They're going to sit back, Probably wait maybe a month, just off the top of my head, because then you got the plus sevens, but the ones that really matter in the streaming world are the plus 28s, the 1 month consolidated, and they may go off that. Well, I went off on Wish World as well because it makes no sense. It's just like, Dump of the Doctor, Era of the Zygons, or the 8th Anniversary Adventure that everybody thinks was the greatest writing since sliced bread, but the whole plot is so damn ridiculous it looks like, Grover off Sesame Street wrote it when you sit down and think about it. But, well, like I said, we'll have to sit back, wait, and find out what's going on. There's a leaked image of the Doctor and and Belinda dancing. You have to remember there was a lot of footage shot, and then there was a lot of footage that was suddenly shot later. There were reshoots and all this other stuff going on later. So, I know that whole thing. Like I said, I'm getting tired of the whole supernatural angle. As I said last night, it's getting to be like a bad supernatural plot. I'm halfway expecting Sam and Dean to show up in the frickin' Impala to solve this thing. I do not know, because I have not really, I don't think Verada Seathu is going to say anything about it. Um, like I said, I had no problem with Belinda, really. And this whole thing, where are they getting this stupid thing about Poppy being the doctor, being someone's mom or Susan's mom? I'm like, what internet fan fiction land did that come out of? But I'm not good at Yoda. Yoda, I'm good not. I am. Yes. I'm still working on Yoda. Imagine, oh God, that's right, it wouldn't work because that was the beginning of it. I know. Mickey's kind of tough to do, It just seems to me like he's just bringing back classic villains to try to get the old school fans on board with the new fans, and he's sucking at it. I'm sorry, I hate to say that word, but when I go back and I rewatch The Empire of Death, I'm like, what? Sutek was wiping the floor with the Doctor back in Pyramids of Mars. Yet now the companion's just going to walk up, hook up a leash, and they're going to take him for walkies through the damn vortex like it's nothing. I'm like, oh. Exactamundo, you got it right there, Mark. I think that's what's going on. I really can't do Trump. I mean, it's impossible to say. I'd have to practice it a while. I never really thought about doing a Trump impression. The guy never really impressed me that much. It just makes me die laughing. That seems like the prerequisite to be president of the United States these days. You have to have bankrupted at least 2 or 3 companies. This guy bankrupted casinos, for crying out loud. Oh. Yet now he's president of our country. George W. Bush bankrupted like 2 oil companies, one of which he was bailed out by the Bin Laden family. Yet no questions were ever asked about that connection, was it? And I feel bad because I think Joe Biden, got a bad rap in the fact that I don't think he was actually even running things. I think that poor guy was put up there like a ventriloquist dummy and fed his lines. And I feel really bad because I don't want to make fun of Joe Biden because I think he genuinely had, you get older and things start going out on you. And I think that's what was going on before he even got elected. And I think they just used him as a puppet. And trust me, I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party. I'm definitely not a fan of the conservatives or the Republicans. And like I said, I really sit in the middle line there. I will vote for whoever I think can run the country. And matter of fact, up to I think the last president I voted for that represented any major party was Obama. Because I remember one election, I was just voting for anything that wasn't Democrat or Republican. The guy's name was Gary Johnson. I'm like, wow. Imagine if his name was Harry Johnson. Wouldn't that be funny to have a president like that? Check out Harry Johnson. But like I said, I'm not going to hate on people for whatever their political beliefs are. Because to me, I think that's ridiculous. It used to be we didn't, go out and belittle people just because they voted for somebody we didn't vote for or something like that. It just gotten crazy. You're right. It is that time again. I am way over. I got to get going. Thanks for reminding me, Raj. All right. Be kind, be calm, be safe. We'll catch you all Monday. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. I got to get running. Bye-bye. Oop, I hit the wrong button. Hang on. Oh, I hit it again. Oh, yeah.